Hello and welcome back. So let's continue this build after we recap where we were last time. So this was the mostly residential area that was built up a bit further last time. Tried to add a little park here. I'm not really happy with it, but I think I'll come back and do something with it another time. Industry wise, started building a farm area. Now industry demand isn't particularly high at the moment, so I don't want to overdo it. So as industry demand grows, I'll continue building up this area. And from the even older video before that, this is the ore area. And what are they doing? So they don't have materials, don't have enough materials, they can't get rid of their materials. Just send the trucks around and I'll let them sort it out. So I thought this time let's try something a bit new. I'm looking at this rather empty area here, thinking we can do something a bit more high density with it, which is something else that unlocked last time. I now have access to high density buildings and probably some other stuff as well. We'll come back to that. So I'm thinking, how about we have a tourism and leisure high density area here for people to chillax on. So you might think, okay, we got some low density housing, we got some other low density housing, we got some industry. This place is going somewhere. Some land developer goes like, what this place needs is to let the hair down. So they're gonna, you know, a big property developer might go like, right, we're building a large complex here, and I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Emphasis on a try. Now I don't know how much space I really need. I'm thinking I might want to buy this map tile, and if it lets me this map tile, let's just try that for starters. Okay, it let me buy both of those. I don't know how far I want to spread over, and I don't want to demolish all the forest either. I think I'd like to keep that as a feature. Did something just get blown up then? That's my pylon, but that still gives power anyway, so it's okay. Wait, that is not okay. Lucky I saw that, because otherwise there'd be no water. Sewage processing. Yeah. So the question is, how do I want to connect this area to the road network? I think I have two options really. I can tee off the highway and bring it around this side, and then I could do some sort of connection down here. And the other option is maybe I could use a smaller road and just go along the coast here. So like this is the coastal path. So this would be the small road, the small local way in, and then there can be a higher flow for outside the city. Shall we try it and see what happens? I think that's about my best option. The other, I'm not too sure. If I build a small road there, that is going to be the shortest route for pretty much everyone to get to that area. I'm thinking I probably want a bigger road coming over, so maybe have this class of road, that's the 4-lane I think, and bring it around over here. So it's not a highway, but it'll just give people a bit more better access. The only problem being, to connect to here, well, to connect to this road, I could branch it off there, keep that as a small road, branch it off there, go across. That's not impossible, and that light reflection is really not helping. The alternative is I just demolish these houses and take a connection off here, which will be, I think, more direct and better than trying to take it off there. Because you know people will try to take this shortcut, unless I break that shortcut. Which is also possible, I suppose. All I have to do is just make sure this road is not connected on one end or the other, then they have to go that way. How about we try it and see what happens? Got a fly on my arm, that's distracting. Right. The reflections. I want to be at this sort of angle, but it's hard to see anything. So, right, the corner of that park is going to clip. I don't mind the power line so far. Let's just do that anyway, and we can try. I don't know how well this will work. It fits. Now that will have to join somewhere around here, and I'm thinking if I just want something to follow the coast, probably want this one, don't I? Something like this. I'll stop there for now. I don't know how far I want to go. This just needs to join up there. Lovely. Now, do I still need that power line there? No. Well, that's an easy one. Actually, this is redundant as well. That could still do with joining together, because otherwise this is a bit of a tenuous link. That isn't needed either. So I think if I can just build something. What have we got here? The wood industry. Where's the zone? Can I build something there? Because that will be enough. Do I need something on that side as well? I don't know if that's close enough to bridge over or not. Come on, someone build something there. I just want to see it. Otherwise I'll forget. That might not be enough. No, it's not quite enough. I need something else on this side still. Is there some facility or something that wouldn't look out of place there? What is this? Fire. We haven't got much fire coverage, have we? But that's not the place I want to put it either. Or is it? I've done it now. Maybe I can move that one over to... If only it was this easy in real life, isn't it? That's not the best position, just pick it up and put it down somewhere else. If only. Now hopefully that will bridge the power over, so this connection is now no longer needed. I mean, I could just shorten that as well. That's just unnecessarily long. Not enough workers. Okay, so now we got a major road over there. Like I said, I'm just going to break this up so that people don't use this as a shortcut. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a footpath in just in case there's access still needed in that general vicinity. Yeah, there's still people walking that way. Just to keep that option open. Maybe a little path there as well. That reflection is horrible. Just to give that bit of connectivity. Anything else around here? Probably not. I could do the same on this one, I suppose, but there's not really anywhere. I don't think they need to get from there to there. Unless the park. I can build on loads off the park. What have we got here? The fish market. That doesn't need to connect to the park, does it? That'll do for now. Yeah, people are... well, they're going somewhere. Oh, they're going from these houses to the market. I could still put in a little something extra here at some point, but maybe not actually. That's going to be noisy, isn't it? Noise pollution. Yeah, I'm not going to put any more residential on that side at least. Right, back to what we wanted, well, what I wanted to do at least. What would turn this into a nice high density tourism? Actually, it doesn't have to be high density, it can be high and low density, couldn't it? So let's look at the zoning options. We have tourism, hotels, restaurants and other activities, whatever they are. Leisure, vibrant nightlife, daytime relaxation as well. So they're both good. That's just normal commercial, and this is organic and local produce. Not so sure about that. Maybe, you know, that could be okay for one of these areas for shopping, but I don't think that is going to be the feature for this area. This area is going to be tourism and leisure. Now we could have a mixture of high and low density, but how do I want to do it? And obviously we have the beach as well. That might, I don't know how to best exploit that. I'll move these out of the way later. They can go like downstream, for example. So I'm thinking, even if we want to do these commercial zones, I think the area needs a focal point, something unique, something big, something visual to act as the central focus point. What have we got? I'll probably want to be on this tab, shouldn't I? I want something big. Rocket launch site doesn't say it for me. A temple complex, bit out of place maybe. Traffic park, a bit tacky. Tower, that's a maybe. Not so keen on the Statue of Liberty. Panda Sanctuary. I'm thinking the tower might be the best one so far of the things I have unlocked. Oops. What else have we got? Brandenburg Gate. I mean, they're not really big, are they? What else have we got? A fountain that isn't that big. The luxury hotel, so that could go in the area. A zoo. Maybe that could go on the fringes, but it doesn't, you know. I want a nice high density area. Stadium. I think that's one for another location. Festival related stuff. Well, the music club is a maybe. That's definitely entertainment, isn't it? So we'll keep that one in reserve. We have a load of statues and things. I mean, These could give, you know, a nice bit of breathing space between all the density. You don't want everything to be just crammed solid in your face. So I could try sprinkling some of these around. These probably don't really fit. Not that mall anyway, that will just be too depressing. Disaster, no, I want somewhere happy and upbeat. Clock tower, I think that belongs more in a traditional commercial area, not so much a tourist area. What else have we got? An office, nope, another officey one. So this is a mall. Again, I think that's more like a traditional area, not the tax office, not helicopters, no lungs. Old Market Street, I think I'll save those for a more traditional commercial area. Business Park, library, no, no. I think this will be too posh for what I want to put here. But it could, I don't know, does it serve as a focal point? Like if I stick it there, for example. Not sure. I mean, you know, this can go out to sea somewhere. Bit small, maybe. Offices, library, no. Science. I mean, there's all sorts of aquarium. I mean, it's by the coast. If you're going to have an aquarium anywhere, you want it by the coast, I think, don't you? Oh, another needle thing. But I don't want it too close to the other one. It would just be a bit, like, too much. Now, these assets, I seem to remember, you know, they have a bit of a odd scale to them. So I don't think I want to use those. So where were we? I wanted this one, I think, as my focal point. For this part, anyway. Now the question is, where can I haven't thought this through, have I? What is my road network going to look like in this area? So that's kind of the outer support. But now I need to work on the inner detail. So I'm thinking maybe the hotels the hotels can go on this side because then they have the ocean view. Yes, I will move that. In fact, rather than say I will move that, why don't I actually move that? I'm going to break this city now just until this is done, because they're not going to have any sewage processing at all until I put the pipes in. Just before the city disintegrates. Probably not the best layout I've ever done. Just to keep it functional for now. I'll need power here anyway for this to build up, so that's why I'm leaving that there, not running a different set of connections up. Let's make a start. I'm just going to... What if I just do... If I put snap back on, what would that look like if I just did that? I think that wouldn't look very natural, would it? Because it just doesn't follow the curve. So... I want to keep it high density, or quite high density, so... Ah, that's why. I was wondering where my circle went, and other stuff. So let's have that, because that will give me something to put this down on. that feeling centered? Like I said, so this will form like a focal point for the area. And it's telling me I haven't got any water in this area, so let's just quickly fix that. Again, may not be the prettiest, but if it's functional, it'll do. I mean, I kind of like to connect it up anyway. Whoop. That mouse jumping. It's just that if anything happens in the future, you're less likely to lose service in that area. There's something. I'm imagining you want lots and lots of connectivity around here. So for example, I thought something felt a bit odd there. Can I not put one right next to this? Does that square around it? Damn these nodes. Yeah, I don't like that because of the slight border. So what can I do? I can move it to one edge or the other. But I kind of decided that was centered already. Just pick one and go with it. Don't need that anymore. Again, this is the sort of time I wish I played modded game. Don't have so many of these problems, do you? So I can do something like that. I think that can just go straight down. You know, that can join onto there. So we've got some connectivity. Maybe another road like that. You know, it's building a bit of shape. Don't want to, again, I'm trying to avoid falling into the old grid system. I don't know if I'm succeeding or not. And I think the best way to avoid a grid system is to not have too many right angles. There's something I wanted to try. Maybe this is a good time to attempt it. Something called, I think it's called a spiderweb road layout. So from a central point, you sort of just have roads branching out, and then you have like successive layers of areas coming out. So for example, you might have a... Did I just make that up? I probably just made that up. I mean, this is still a bit gritty, isn't it? So you have a smaller parallel road, and then you have like an occasional connection. Okay, that tower really wants some power. Are you happy now? I mean, I could do something similar here, but note the wider gap. So I've probably got enough room for another road in here. Yeah, that snap is not helping. Hello grid, welcome back. Well, that was an accidental misclick, but on the other hand, of course, that road is now not straight. That's not a bad thing. You know, it just keeps it a bit more dynamic. So you have the main road, which will have all the, shall we say, the new high density attractions on it. But then you have the inner, possibly older roads. Just trying to think, what can I do with that one? I kind of want to keep it dense, but just not in a too rigid way. So yeah, that's a bit interesting. This is going to be one road junction from hell. So we're going to have some small gaps there. I might, so these might be candidates for like a small park of some sort. So again, I'm just trying to avoid making it too much of an obvious grid. Easier said than done. Oh, 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 city is... I've broken it. Yeah, the whole place is a bit unhappy because I killed the sewage. Right, is everyone happy again? Whoa, I didn't notice that. My population halved, it was over 6,000. And they're really moving back in again fast, that's good. Yeah, I need to keep an eye on that sort of thing. Where is the power line? I'm just going to... Let's just do that. So it's way out of the way now. I'm not going to build that far over. Yeah, population's recovering nicely. Yeah, we might have a few dead people. It'll recover. Don't panic. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be okay. Now, I said earlier, I think I want to make this area more the tourism side. Hotels and things. And this side more the nightlife side. Entertainment. That's the word I'm looking for. So let's get zoning. If I can remember how this works. Is it just the regular zoning one? let's just, for starters, let's just do that. Because I'm thinking, you know, this side, the view isn't going to be so nice. You look across the river, you just see some houses. Whereas this is looking out towards the ocean. So you got better views there. So that's why I wanted to put the hotels on this side, more in particular. And on this side, like I said, it's going to be the nightlife. I'm going to have to tidy that part up. Now this is probably going to be massive overkill for the size city I have at the moment. If I fill this up, it's going to be too much. But just to, you know, put the foundation in place, as it were. Oh, that snap is really annoying. It snaps to the road. So you go one side or the other of it and you can't quite get it. Right, so just to double check the options, we have leisure. So that's the nightlife one. Boom. This one is tourism. Boom. That I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. What do I want to do with that bit? We'll find out in a second. So what I'm hoping will be interesting is I'll make the stuff on the main road, on a big road, that can be high density. It's working. We'll just go about that far. Like I said, this is overkill. This is going to tank so hard. So once again, only the stuff on the main road, that's high density. I need to get rid of this power line at some point. I'll leave that to just keep my options open for the future, but I think that will do for now. So this is the, you can imagine it's like the expensive stuff. This is the prime real estate by the waterside. But then you move in a layer and everything else is going to be a bit lower density. It's not quite so intense. So this will be the smaller businesses and such. Now, I'm not going to fill all of it in one go. How's that looking? Like I said, this is way more commercial than my current city needs, so I'm gonna just leave that as it is. That's interesting. So people, I think, look like they're taking a shortcut through there rather than the main road around the outside. That could be interesting for traffic. So now that I've done that, what I think I need to do is balance it out a bit. Now that we have a huge amount of commercial space there, we probably need a huge amount of residential somewhere. I don't want to overdevelop this area. I mean, I could probably put a few more blocks down on the edges, but I consider this more or less done actually. I don't want to add too much to this area. You know, this is it. What they have, just no more after this. I mean, I can fill in a few gaps like this, but this isn't going to be nearly enough, I don't think. Maybe a bit there as well. Okay, maybe I've added a bit more than I thought I might have, since my residential demand is plummeted as well. That only leaves industrial. Oh, we got some buildings going on there, so I could probably get rid of that power line. If I branch it off elsewhere, like up there, I don't need that one either. Which means I can just make sure these little gaps are filled, just to keep it consistent. So just checking our zoning again. So that's tourism and that's nightlife, leisure. So lots of tourism. Well, maybe it's because it's unpowered. I'm not seeing much. Well, oh, there's our first one. Seafood delicacies. I could have some of that. Not enough customers, I know. I think I need some better connections at some point. How's the traffic here doing? That's probably not the best connection I could do, is it? I mean, it's working, but it might not be ideal. Something to sort out another time. Right, so we got more people, we got some of that. We need a bit more industry, and here we are, back to the farm then. How are we doing? We need just a few more workers for the next level. We've more than done enough. Oh, here we are. What else can we make that might be of interest? Train station. We can do trains. We can do monorails. I don't think this is really a monorail type city, but I think trains is something I might have to look into at some point. Didn't we do these already? I saw these in the list when we went through them earlier, didn't we? Anyway, that's not why I'm here. Farming. What options have we got? So for now it's just more of the same. I mean, I quite like my multicoloured crop field here, so I want to continue that theme. Small concern, have I boxed myself in there? That bridge might, well, we'll find out. If I click on, is that the, nope, crop field, so joint on that road there. Is that going to break the bridge? It isn't, but okay, we can do some more interesting stuff. Medium crops, smoking parlour. Lemonade factory, I think I might leave a little bit longer. Yeah, the bridge, I think it's just the corner of a bridge is forcing this out slightly. Just double check I can't Yeah, it won't let me move it in any further. And I don't want to rebuild a bridge. I'll just leave it as is. So we'll continue that, but I might have to leave extra space. I believe that... Is that enough or not? Or is that colliding? That's why that space is unavailable. Okay, it still lets me. That's fine. That's okay. Everything's fine. It's just that one that looks out of place now. Sorted. I'll take it. So just to mix the crops up again. Or should I do some greenhouse ones? Just give it a bit more of an industrial feel. I mean, this is only cosmetic anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Whoa, that height difference. That height difference. That doesn't even look flat. Is that what I think it is? I don't know what it is. It just... yeah. Maybe greenhouses are not the best option for that one. There we are. 4 different ones again. In a different pattern from the other one. That'll do. We said we unlocked medium field as well. Medium crop field. So I'll just put a couple more of those down. Now, can we have a greenhouse without it looking stupid? I'm not sure. I mean, that doesn't look so bad, I suppose, because it's sunk in, even if it makes that field look a little bit skewy. Probably should put a farming fence up. Or just an avenue of trees, actually, could be quite nice, couldn't it? Just to give that boundary layer between the road and... How many people are walking over there? More than a few. What I'm wondering is, how are people getting into the farm area to work? Would it help if they had a... wrong one. This is just a bit of an experiment, I suppose, of sorts. Do people want to walk into the farm? I just gave them the opportunity to do so. It might take a while to sort itself out. Yeah, but do people want to walk into the farm? Yes. Now I can never click on these people when they're doing attending small crop field. So okay, people do walk into the farm as well. So that little extra path should help. Yeah, more people using it. I mean, even more paths might not be a bad thing at this point. So is he working at the field? Yes, he is. So people drive to the field they're working in. That's good to know. Because the last time I used the industry pack, it didn't look like there was that much transportation to the industry areas. Like I tried putting a bus route in and no one used it. Right, how are we doing over here? They're probably complaining because there's not enough customers. I've built too much too fast, basically. It's not a surprise. So all I can do is to keep the building not industrial. Yes, industrial. Industrial and... come on brain, those things. Residential. I'm also thinking maybe it's time I have an office area. I haven't built any offices anywhere in the city yet. They are unlocked. Now, where would they be? They would want to be somewhere close to where people are, but not too close. So although this is leading up to the commercial area, maybe along here would be, you know, a logical place for office area to build up on. It's going to make traffic so bad though, isn't it? Because now this is now a really major route, and I don't think that class of road really should be handling the stress by itself. I probably could do with a second river crossing somewhere here. Maybe, would a footpath be too long? A footpath bridge. So people working here can live here without having to drive all the way around. It's going to be a quite long bridge. Long bridge? Yeah, a long bridge. Yeah, this is starting to clog up as well. This probably deserves to be a higher class road as well. Should I upgrade this? It needs more than 2 lanes, doesn't it? If I make it a highway, that will cut off some pedestrian access though. So that could affect things, because people are walking around it right now. Do I make it a highway? I've done it. Like I said, but now people don't have a footpath around it. Again, I believe there are mods available for this. It's not quite right, is it? But it does have the intended effect. People can get from that side to that side. They don't have to go over that side. That's enough. They're braver than me if they're crossing that. But upgrading that road does seem to have helped. Should I make that 3 lanes as well? Am I going to break something? Wow, apart from it looking ugly. It might not be the prettiest, but it looks like it's working. I'm never sure when it does that, if it's really joined or not. So let's just redo it. I don't know if I need that extra connection, but again it just gives people another option. if they want to walk around. Yeah, it seems to be popular. People are using it. Probably saves them the extra distance going that way if they are, well, I don't know where they're going, wherever they are. Yeah. Like I said, this was always a concern for me. I think this is not the right class of road. And if I build any more here, that's only going to make it worse. I think my best bet is still to demolish these houses and connect up there. Ooh, what's happening down here? This is all getting rather exciting now. Right, I'm going to try sorting this out first, and sorry the few people who live there, but you're gone. You are no more. What is that symbol? Was there a bus stop there? It's telling me something is not connected, and I think there's nothing underground, because I haven't built anything underground yet, have I? Was there a... did I have a bus route there? Okay, that one is broken. I'll just delete it. So that was part of the old bus route. I'll put one in again later. It wasn't really heavily used anyway, but you know, people are going to complain about it anyway. Right, does that help? Because people going that way no longer have to go that way. This is kind of almost like a giant roundabout now. And I think this is now my main congestion point. How do I sort that out? I think I am my own worst enemy there. Most people coming up here want to get to that side of the road. And this junction ain't gonna cope with it. So everything's clogging up back here. What do I do? I mean, if I break that off, it'll force them to turn off later on. But I think all that will do is move the problem over here. It doesn't really fix this problem here. Is this a point for a roundabout? All that traffic The other option I think could help is like I said, some sort of bridge over here. Where would it go though? Because pretty much all this area is taken up with housing. I'll have to upset someone. Unless I build it over here. Would that help enough? Just a smaller bridge. But it's still quite close to that junction. Dare I do it? Literally just that. One of these days I'll get used to the interface. Is that... what's it doing? Okay. Boom, it's done. It's not a big bridge, but it might just be enough to take the load off that area. I still think this is it's joining on too close to that really, isn't it? I'm thinking over here would be more logical. But there's not really a good road connection unless I don't want to put it on a beach connection. So it'd have to be like, which house do I want to knock down and go like, boop. And that's not a good connection point as well, because you can only go that way or that way. Right, oh, yeah, definitely the traffic's building up there. Again, this looks like an ideal candidate for a symmetric road. Just to give more lane options to people coming out here. Also makes it look more obvious. Everyone's turning right, no one's turning left. But is it helping with traffic much? Yeah, everyone seems to be living in this area. So they're using this bridge to bypass having to go all the way around there. This is... I didn't need that after all now. They're all going this way. Well, it's a short-term fix. I don't consider that a long-term fix. It's not the right place for the bridge. Should be something further over. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a footpath across here. We'll see if anyone walks over. Now, where would be a good space? Maybe about here somewhere. Mostly because there's a footpath here already. Unless, what if I join it onto there? Oh. Yeah, those houses have to go if I'm going to do this. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I mean, I can refine the connections a little bit in a second. How's that? It is rather funky, isn't it? It is funky. Ooh. No, I don't like it. Let's start from the other end. We'll start at ground level here, by this junction, which is a nice logical location. How's that? Okay, it is connected. But I probably should dezone that very square, so nothing gets built on it. In fact, let's just dezone the ones next to it as well. Yeah, I think I would prefer more of a bridge there, because that may or may not cause problems later on. Why is it doing that? That's a bit better, isn't it? It can still come down to ground level, but it's just doing so at a slightly better place. Just dezone that one. Should I just repath that bit? That's better. I think we have a path. We got one guy using it. We got someone going the other direction. It's being used. I mean, I was never happy with this path anyway, so I'm thinking this is an ideal chance to do something a bit more with this area. Oh, that looks a bit horrible as well. Because I'm thinking we can go from the higher layer and drop down to here as well. I'm going to pause for this because it's going to get a bit horrible. So we go from there to there, that's okay. But I want to go across to... I mean, that's quite level, but that's one hell of a drop it needs to do. Space already occupied, it's too low, isn't it? And that's way high. It won't let me... Well, let's just see if I can... That's too high, that's too low. Isn't this like some sort of step adjustment thing? So that's as low as I can go. How low can you go? Is that ground level or not? If I just delete that, wasn't such a short segment, and I wish it really didn't do this sort of thing. So it's roughly level, isn't it? I mean, it depends where I put it. Is that straight? And the problem is that doesn't quite go to ground level. Because that has to go. I was going to build another one, so just what? No, I don't want a tunnel. I just want to go to ground level. Is that too much to ask? But I want ground level on this side as well, which doesn't seem to be happening. That is rather sharp, isn't it? I think my best bet is to get rid of that house. It's not going down. Why won't you go down? Is that tunnelling or not? Why aren't you joining onto the road? Is it because I need the grid line on? So close and yet so far, isn't it? What if I just give up on this side? So you've still got a way to go from the top to the lower level, just not a direct one across the road. I'll come back to this another time. I think I can make that a lot better. But it does solve the short-term goal of people have a way to get to the upper level without having to go all the way around either way. And they also have a way to get across to the this area. Oh, it's actually taking a little bit of life now. But I guess because I put all this down, the industry demand has plummeted, and all I need is a ton of housing. Where do I put a ton of housing? How is that? People love that. Look at that. That is brilliant. So all that traffic, the traffic problems are pretty much gone. I think a large number of people can just walk here. And I've still got the second bridge, which helps take a little bit of pressure off the main route. It will suffice for now. But still, the biggest thing I need to add somewhere is a load of housing. And I'm thinking, where do I want to put it? Do I expand into this area? A new residential complex to serve this area? Again, I still want to keep the forest intact, so that would imply growing, continuing along the beach. That's the main tourist area, but then it will fizzle out, give way, turn into a residential area. Is this farmland? That is farmland. I don't think I'm going to use it as farmland, so I don't mind building on it. But again, I do want to keep that forest. It's a, you know, it's a feature, isn't it? Right. So let's continue this road then. So it's still servicing the seafront area. I'm not sure how I want to approach this. I don't think I want to put the housing on the main road itself. Or do I? They're going to complain about noise and traffic. So what I could do again is to put a small road, again just parallel off that. Oh, didn't have that selected. Right. Something like that. Again, you know, just the occasional access off the main road. And now I could put some high density residential on here. So, you know, someday I will find the right button. There it is. So they're not quite on the seafront, but they're close to it. I think, you know, I might reserve this for office area. I don't have any office at the moment. You have the power. You also could do with some water, apparently. Just to prepare myself for when I grow back that way as well. So we've got a load of high density housing there. They can help service this area as well. Now what they haven't got is some local shops, so maybe a bit of low density commercial around here. So let's just see what we got. So this is the edge of the tourism area. So that's where our marks to. Should I put let's put another road there, just so that I have a nice defined boundary. Tourism ends there. In fact, let's just square it off a bit. So just to clarify on the zoning. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't know. I need some commercial in this area. Normal commercial. Even though the indicator is practically off, just nothing there. Now what this area doesn't have anything of at the moment, at least, is schools. So let's just plonk at least an elementary down. Probably one each end. Because it's high density, they do fill up really fast normally. I must have quite an ageing city. Elementary students in the area, less than 300. One school is enough. I'll just built 2 of them. I mean, I will build another road worth parallel to it. Let's just start that now, actually. Let's put it on Bendy Road and let's get started. So just by having... where did it go? I was going to say, just by having some slight curvatures, you know, it does make it a little bit more interesting. And the connecting roads don't have to all line up. Again, that would be a bit too gritty. I mean, even that's still a bit too grid-like for my liking, I suppose. If that's what I was trying to avoid. Now something I don't have anything of is I don't have any police around here, so they probably could do with one. I'll put it a little bit closer to all this area because that's where all the crims are going to be, aren't they? Oh, that's far anyway. Come on, brain, there's the police. You can be right next door then. So just to check, we've got just the tiniest bit of police coverage there. We actually have some fire coverage now. I really should have more in this area, shouldn't I? And that area. The coverage, let's be honest, isn't brilliant. Yeah, I think I'm a bit overdue building those. Oh, what he's filling up. Tons of capacity left. Small risk of a mini death wave because I'm building this relatively quickly. So just to fill it a bit more. Yeah, so the residential demand is finally starting to come down a bit now. Probably still not enough customers, not enough customers. I mean, I knew when I put this up, this was far more than my city needs at this stage of development. But I just wanted to get the put pieces in place, as it were. So the residential is filling up nicely. Demand is dropping though. I have no demand for anything. So what I think I need to do now is probably try to increase the land value a bit. So there's no parks around here. Let's give them a park. Everyone likes a little park of some sort. Botanical garden. I mean, you know, maybe on the outskirts of the tourism area. People might go like, yeah, we've done all the touristy stuff, let's go to the not quite so touristy stuff. Okay, people have moved in and they want more residential still. How are we doing down here? I mean, as much as I said I didn't want to end up with a grid-like system, I am ending up with a grid-like system, but this one isn't too horrifically bad. They want more garbage. I haven't checked processing in a while. It's probably... apparently it should still be okay. Apart from distance, maybe. Why are there so many dead people around here? That is a... just checking everything. Water okay. Garbage okay. Tons of education capacity. Apart from libraries, because I never do those. Healthcare, death care. Cemeteries are full. Do I have incinerators yet? It's under healthcare, isn't it? I don't have incinerators yet. I think it's because my cemeteries are full, so the dead aren't going anywhere. That one's full, that one's nearly full. I need a load more capacity. I'm going to do a little something here. So just a little side road. You've got the forest on one side, you can have a little cemetery on the other. Of course. And a bit of power. I don't want to overbuild this one, because I do hope to switch to the crematorium as soon as they unlock. When do they unlock? 14,000, so that's still some way off though. But that is desperately needed at the moment. Ooh, how's that traffic looking? No, leave it as is for now. That is a lot of dead people. I'm going to have to build another one here, I think. I can't afford to wait for the other one to get over. Do you have water down there? Yes, you do. Yeah. So that was an oversight on my part. I was too focused on this area. Wasn't checking on city needs. What is that? Sawmill, not enough materials. Whoa, what's happening there? Is it because I have no industrial demand? Or is there some other problem other than everyone dying? Yeah, this is going to take a while to sort itself out. But anyway, what have we got? Everything's in kind of a balance at the moment. They don't want any more. I think this is... I'm going to have to let this cycle through before I can move on. Oh, have another one. There's just nowhere near enough, are there? I mean, the only time I've ever seen anything that bad before was when I had too much... well, I messed up the water pollution, basically. And by I messed up the water pollution, I mean I had water pollution. So that's as good as full. Should I build... I need more on this side, I think. I just need more. Please, sir, can I have some more? Can I get the road around there, for example? How big are they? If I can get a road across like that, I think I can get one on each side. It is a bit of a case of where do I want to put it. And I don't think I'm going to do anything else with this space. But I don't want to... I suppose it doesn't matter if I do join it onto that space. It's not high traffic area. Done. It ain't the prettiest, but it just... I think short-term function is more important than pretty at the moment. So many dead. I think there's some sort of virus going around. So this area is cleared up. That's good. Yeah, population seems to be recovering now. They're still going to say not enough people. That's fair enough because there just probably isn't enough people. Still some good demand for residential, so I think it might be time to add another layer here. Yeah, they're really filling up now. So when I only had 300 people earlier, I think that wasn't because there were only 300 people. I think that was because they were all dead and everyone moved out. But now the population's recovered. That was the right choice to have 2 here. Probably a high school is not going to go amiss. Why am I clicking there? I've done one of those already, haven't I? Just do a normal high school, I think. I don't know, where do I want it? Just so they don't have to travel too far. So we're doing just about okay on elementary schools. High school, tons of capacity. University, tons of capacity. This will just take a bit of time to sort itself out. Do we have anything? We have an incineration plant. I mean, it's dirty, it's horrible. Do I want one? I'm thinking yes. Because these recycling plants only have so much capacity. And they look fairly full anyway. Just double check my garbage capacity. Oh, I definitely need to add something. Probably more than one, just to really get the capacity up. Water, of course, just a little bit short there. Oh, it's interesting. We got some low-level buildings here. I did do this as high density, didn't I? No, I didn't. No, that's correct. The outer main road stuff is high density. The inner stuff is low density. So there's a good mix. So, if anything, this is a bit undersized because that should be high density. That is actually low density. And look at that. That bridge is well worth it. Just look at those people going everywhere. I didn't plan it, but that looks like a bus stop. And people are using that bus stop to get across. Nice. So that's a bit accidental, actually. So this side isn't too bad actually, the entertainment side, locals will want to use it. Tourism, I think I need more city connections before that grows further. Now we got some industrial demand again. I'm thinking I'm going to do some offices. I haven't done office yet and I was going to line the front of this residential area. Let's just see how that works out. How's the power grid? Because I want to delete that, but not until we got more connection. We're not quite there yet. So for now, this is low level office area. I can do some more on the other side as well once the demand picks up again. How are we doing? Even the high school is quite full now. Got a nice bit of population going on there. Again, I'm a bit concerned, you know, this is a bit too grid-like. It's high density, you probably want to pack them in a bit tighter when it is high density. Now, one thing I haven't done yet, if I remember correctly, is residential. There's the eco housing. So I'm thinking maybe a bit of low density eco housing along here, maybe. You know, it's just on the edge of the forest. I'll have to move the power cable. That'd be fine. I'll stop short of that because that's obviously very non-eco. Let's move the power line first. So how I'm thinking the eco housing could work is a bit similar to what I've been doing elsewhere. So you can have like roads going off like that, just a little bit further maybe. So you don't want it overly connecting to itself. And once again, I don't want to get too close to that, so maybe just one more like that would be enough. Something like that. So I just need to zone this area. I could always use the big one. Okay, I shouldn't use the big one. No, I'm not doing parks. So eco housing. Low or high density, do you think? Because it's in the trees, I'm thinking low is probably more appropriate for that. I'm going to use this tool for once. I really should use it more often, shouldn't I? So all that. Oh, you want power, do you? It should all jump over, hopefully, once it populates. So just a bit of eco housing on the outskirts here. Nothing too fancy. Maybe just a little path there, so they can get to the other stuff more easily. Like the schools. It's not a junction, so I think I've seen people cross the street in the middle before, but they don't often or like to do that, or necessarily. So that's slowly building up. Do we need more offices? These ones are quite settled in now, aren't they? They're unremarkable, but they don't look out of place with the housing. But it is probably time to start filling in the seafront side as well. And then we got the awkward power line thing going on there. Well, I could probably get rid of that one, at least. Let's just see how the power situation is. So that's still the only connection. Ideally I need to bridge this over just to give it a bit more solidity. Just checking the schools again. They seem to be fine. Might need a bit more police coverage. Let's just see how we're doing. Fire coverage, not brilliant. Probably could do with one about here, maybe. That makes that area a lot happier. And even bridges a little bit over there. Probably should put one over here somewhere. So this area actually has some coverage now. Again, it's a bit of a frustration. You see it doesn't really have that much of a effective radius. You have to be really close to one. But at least that area has some level of coverage. Probably should put one down here somewhere. So that covers a load of that. That's good. So the only problem with the cul-de-sac approach is, of course, that area is not perceived by the game to be very accessible. It's literally down a road and round a corner. It's not that far to go. Over here, the farm and the ore place don't really have anything, so maybe they should have one there. Even that, look at that coverage, it's hardly covering anything. Okay, I mean, to be fair, the farm, this isn't accessible from there. You have to go all the way around. So the farm isn't really covered, even though it's split. I mean, that one's kind of near the farm, I suppose. Look at that. That one there is covering that tiny bit. That one there is covering that tiny bit. And there's not an awful lot going on in there. I should just build one on this side, shouldn't I? I mean, it's similar for police coverage. Oh, jail capacity. I need a jail, don't I? Jail, prison, prison, jail. You know what I mean. Where do I want to put it? Probably want to be out of the way. Sort of like lock them up and throw away the key sort of style. But still accessible. Down by the fish processing. Slope too steep. Of course it is. It always is. Where would you put a prison? Middle of nowhere? Oh, look at that traffic. Look at that traffic. And this area isn't even developed yet, but that's also building up in traffic quite a bit. And people are cutting through there rather than going along there. Interesting, isn't it? I'll probably need a bypass. Because at the moment, if you want to go from this side to this area, I would want you to go through there. People are taking a shortcut through there. So maybe what I need is a major route. I don't know, a major route through the forest? Maybe this is worthy of a highway. Just to give a faster point-to-point connection from here to somewhere around here. Just so that the traffic doesn't get clogged up in all that, if they don't have to or want to go into this area. So yeah, that's some interesting problems I'm building for myself here. How's the bridge doing? Look at that, loads of people, lovely. I think that's the only success really. Everything is making things worse at the moment. So they're still complaining about customers and getting abandoned. Like, yeah, I just grew that way too fast. There is a police station here. It's... I need a prison. What options are there? There's one other option, I suppose, which I haven't touched yet. Rail. I mean, that railway line is nowhere near anything I have at the moment. But that's not to say I couldn't... Well, actually, it's not exactly easy, is it? I haven't left any space for a rail line to go in. So to squeeze one in, it's not going to be easy. I'm thinking maybe a ferry could work. Literally, you know, one from there to here. Something like that. Just to give another river crossing. Well, certainly been interesting. I've set myself up some problems for the future, but this area, what are these? Arcade. Yeah, this area is taking shape, even if it'll sort itself out. Just got to get the population up, make the city more interesting, more desirable, better connections, maybe an airport. Can I build an airport? I won't do it now, but just to check. No, I don't want a blimp. I want a proper airport. What population? 60,000. Not even close. 70. Can I have a... not ferry. What's the other word I'm looking for? Harbour, 28. So even that's still quite far away. Train is not impossible. We got access to the train track now that I bought these tiles. So the question then is, you know, where would the train go? Would I take it to the new residential area? That's a maybe. I got some options anyway. But I think that is enough for this session. I will leave it here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.